Tuscany Essential Edition contains 3 separate expansions for Viticulture Essential Edition. They can be used in any combination and can be considered separate expansions. We will talk about each expansion separately. Prior knowledge of how to play Viticulture Essential Edition is assumed. To set up Tuscany, use the extended board that comes with the Tuscany expansion. If you're not playing with the Structure expansion, use a side which does not have a space for the orange cards. In addition to the coloured tokens players receive from the base game, give each player 6 star tokens which match their colour. And instead of giving the green grapes token to the first player, place it on the lower right of the wake up chart. At the beginning of the game, randomly select one player's rooster token. That player will now place their rooster on any of the spaces numbered 2 through 7 on the wake up track. Players proceed clockwise from the starting player, placing their rooster token on a numbered space of the wake up chart. No player is allowed to place their rooster on the number 1 space. Instead of receiving an immediate bonus on the wake up chart, as in the base game of Viticulture EE, players may instead receive multiple bonuses throughout the year. These bonuses can be receiving 1 lira, drawing a vine card, placing or moving a star token on the Tuscany map, drawing any card, or moving to the number 1 space of the wake up chart next year. Once all players have placed a rooster, the year can begin. You will notice that there are now 4 separate seasons in which you can place workers. Each season plays out much the same way. You may either place a worker on an action space within the season you're in, or pass to the next season by sliding your rooster across the wake up chart. Note you can only move to the next season. You cannot skip seasons. It should be noted that, like in the base game, the number of action spaces available depends on the number of players. You'll also notice that some spaces contain bonuses. When placing your worker on this specific space, you gain that bonus, and workers do not need to be placed in any specific order on the action spaces. In addition to the regular actions from the base game of Viticulture EE, there are several new actions available to you. The trade action replaces the sell grapes action. You'll notice several symbols above the trade action. You can exchange any one of those options for any other option there. You may even exchange for the same item. For example, pay 1 victory point to receive a value 1 grape, discarding any 2 cards to draw any 2 cards, or discarding any grape token for a value 1 grape token. The +1 bonus on this action allows you to make an additional trade. During the winter, you may also use the sell 1 wine token action. This allows you to convert a wine token directly into victory points. There is also the option to place or move influence tokens. This is wherever you see a star on the board. You have 6 influence tokens available in your supply, and when selecting the influence action, or triggering an influence symbol on the board, you may place one of your 6 influence tokens on the map on the lower left of the board. When placing an influence token, you immediately gain the benefit listed below the name of the region you have placed your star in. For example, Pisa will give you 2 lira. Instead of placing a star, or if you have already exhausted your supply of 6 stars, you may move any of your coloured stars to any region on the map. When moving, you do not gain the bonus listed below the name of the region. However, at the end of the game, the player with the most stars in each region will receive the victory points for that region. If you choose to pass, you immediately slide your rooster across the wake up chart. You also immediately receive the bonus for that season. Once you have passed to the next season, you may no longer place workers in the previous season. You will also have to wait until all players have passed till the next season before continuing to place workers. During the winter season, instead of passing to the next season, you may pass to the next year. As soon as you decide to pass, Retrieve all your workers, including the temporary worker if you controlled it. Note this could potentially open up action spaces for players who have not yet passed. As in the base game, you will also aid your grape and wine, discard down to a hand of 7 cards, and collect residual payments. You will also choose your wake-up position for the upcoming year. This allows you to pass early in winter, thus securing the wake-up time you want for the next year. If you chose the wake-up order of 7, you will move to the number 1 spot of the wake-up track for next year. The fall season does not automatically guarantee you a visitor card. Instead, you can only receive visitor cards from any symbols on the board which allow you to draw a visitor card. If you have built a cottage, you automatically draw 1 visitor card of your choice when passing into the fall season. The Special Workers module adds several variety of workers to the base game. During setup, before Mamas and Papas are selected, shuffle the 11 worker cards and deal 2 face-up onto the table. Note the Innkeeper card cannot be used in a 2-player game. The remaining Special Worker cards will not be used for the remainder of the game. Place one of the 2 grey workers on each of the cards to show which unique meeple represents each worker. During gameplay, instead of training a regular worker, you may pay an additional lira to train one of the special available workers. When you train a special worker, you do not take the card from the table. Instead, you take the meeple of your color with the same shape as a special worker you would like to train. Other players may still train the same special worker, and they are not unique to you. Each special worker card describes unique abilities that that worker has. Once you have reached 6 workers, including your grande, regular, and special, you may no longer train any new workers. The Structure module adds a variety of buildings which can give you private actions, ongoing bonuses, and residual bonuses. During setup, place a construction mat extension on the left side of your vineyard map. You will also be using the side of the extended game board with the space for orange cards in the upper right. Place the shuffled structured deck on the orange space. Certain actions and bonuses will allow you to draw structure cards. They are kept in your hand and count towards your 7 card hand limit. To play a structure card, place a worker on the Build 1 structure action space. You will have to pay the cost on the upper left of the structure card. Then you may place the structure card face up on an open space of your construction mat, or on an empty field you own. A field is considered empty if it contains no vines and no structures. All structures give you 1 victory point as soon as they are built. You may also destroy a structure by placing a worker on the Destroy Structure action space on your construction mat. You do not lose any victory points for destroying a structure. There are 3 types of structure cards. Action structures give you a private action space where you can place 1 worker per year during any season. Most action structures have a cost or an action to take, which is written below the action space. They may also have a benefit shown in the middle of the action space. To use the benefit, you must pay the cost if there is one. Grande workers cannot be placed on an occupied action structure. Enhancement structures give you an ongoing bonus, and residual structures give you a residual bonus which triggers at the end of the year. I hope you have found this rule summary of Tuscany Essential Edition useful. If you did, or if you have any feedback for my videos, please leave a comment below. I would like to thank you for watching this rule summary of Tuscany Essential Edition, and I will see you in the next video.